Welcome back, everyone, to today's Explainer. So, today we're exploring what is honestly probably the greatest hidden asset we humans possess. Think about the visionary inventor Nikola Tesla for a second. The guy was a mastermind, literally light years ahead of his time. He created the alternating current system, remote controls, the induction motor, just incredible stuff. But how exactly did he do it? Well, Tesla's secret was his absolute conviction that every single invention had to first be fully constructed in his subconscious mind. He would literally see and run his machines in his head before he ever built them in the physical world. By tapping into this mental superpower, he turned the impossible into reality. And today, we're going to look at how we can all harness that exact same power.
Okay, let's dive into this. 95%. Studies show that a staggering 95% of our daily decisions are actually made by our subconscious mind. Just really think about that for a second. What we firmly believe are our conscious choices, whether to take a risk, what we eat for lunch, how we react to a stressful email, all of that is actually the subconscious running the show in the background, without us even realizing it's happening.
And to put the sheer scale of this into perspective, consider this incredible insight from Dr. Bruce Lipton over at Stanford University. He points out that the subconscious mind is 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. 1,000,000 times. Most people just kind of refuse to believe their subconscious is already dictating their lives. But when you align this immense power with your goals instead of working against them, that's when your biggest fears vanish, your hesitation just completely disappears, and you finally find the energy to turn those big dreams into reality.
So, here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. First, we'll cover the subconscious superpower, then how patterns dictate success, followed by tools for brain reprogramming, your custom 21-day plan, and finally, tracking your mind's progress. We'll prove how the brain actually works and then give you the customized manual to fix it. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The Subconscious Superpower, Understanding the Iceberg.
And this brilliantly illustrates what's going on. To truly grasp what's happening inside our heads, we have to look below the surface. It's exactly like an iceberg. Our conscious mind is just that tiny visible tip poking out above the water, but the massive, deeply hidden block of ice underneath, that's the subconscious. Just look at this mind-blowing difference in data processing. The conscious mind can handle about 40 bits of information per second, but the subconscious, it's absorbing and processing roughly 11 million bits of information every single second. It is the ultimate supercomputer, and it's constantly running in the background.
In fact, it's basically a virtually unlimited memory bank. By the time we hit 21 years old, your mind has already permanently stored 100 times the contents of the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. That's wild. And we see proof of this profound storage and control all the time in everyday life. Think of the placebo effect, right? Where patients magically recover simply because their subconscious believes they were given a powerful medicine. Or hypnosis, where people can suddenly recall incredibly detailed, obscure events from decades ago. Our subconscious is absolutely packed with data, and it is guiding every move we make based on that exact data.
Moving on to Section 2, How Patterns Dictate Success, the Invisible Operating System.
This is where we uncover exactly how our internal wiring directly dictates our external success. It all comes down to belief patterns. So what are these? Basically, they are deeply ingrained subconscious programs forged by our childhood environments and our past experiences. Think of it kind of like an outdated smartphone that starts glitching. If we don't update our brain's outdated features, they're going to control us. These patterns literally dictate whether we approach life with paralyzing fear or if we step forward with calculated confidence.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how clearly it plays out in real life. Let's look at two totally different childhoods. Take T2, for example. Growing up, he constantly heard things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or making money is hard. So, as an adult, his subconscious pattern naturally linked money to intense stress. Whenever a new opportunity popped up, his brain just screamed, risk, causing him to freeze and fall behind in life. But now consider Sonu. His dad always told him, where there's a will, there is a way. Keep working hard. Because of that, Sonu grew up programmed to constantly seek growth. He still faced risks, sure, but his subconscious pattern pushed him to figure out calculated risks, not to just freeze up. The takeaway here? Our environment creates our belief patterns, and those belief patterns completely dictate our success.
All right, Section 3. Tools for Brain Reprogramming. Clearing the bad, installing the good.
So how do we actually update our mind's outdated software? Well, we can look at 6 core methods to reprogram the subconscious. We've got identifying limiting beliefs, dopamine detox, mindfulness and focused breathing, gratitude practice, visualization, and affirmations. And hey, these aren't just trendy buzzwords. A dopamine detox, like author Thibaut Mirus suggests, actually starves short-term distractions so you can build long-term focus. And mirror work? Massive stars like Shah Rukh Khan and business titans like Steve Jobs have famously used mirror affirmations to build their own unshakable realities.
Let's zoom in on the very first crucial tool, the limiting beliefs thought journal. Studies actually show that simply expressing your emotions on paper strips those negative thoughts of their power. It's like letting the air out of a balloon. Step 1 is to just notice the negative thought. Something like, I can't start a business. Step 2, write down exactly why you feel it. And as you dig into that why, you naturally reach step 3. You realize the fear actually has no logical base whatsoever. It's literally just an invisible script stopping your success.
This thought journal exercise is incredibly validating. As Albert Einstein so wisely put it, once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Recognizing our limiting beliefs isn't a weakness, it is the literal starting line for true progress.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this all builds into your custom 21-day plan, the personalized formula.
Because let's be real, a generic one-size-fits-all formula rarely ever works, right? We need a custom blueprint. So ask yourself, which of these traits describes you best? Are you an overthinker with a hyperactive mind? If so, the research heavily points to focused breathing and mindfulness to calm those overactive neural pathways. Or maybe you're a visual learner. In that case, an image board and deep imagination sessions might be your best bet. What if you're more of an auditory learner who really connects with sound? Try recording your goals and visualizing them while listening to your own voice. And if you're lacking confidence or feeling demotivated, deep mirror affirmations are an absolutely excellent prescription. The whole point here is self-diagnosing and picking the exact tool that fits your unique learning style and emotional state.
But no matter what your learning style is, there is one universal requirement. Think about it. You cannot grow flowers in sand and stones. If your mind is full of negativity and complaints, those big dreams just won't take root. We absolutely have to make the soil fertile through daily gratitude. If you're generally a happy person, great. Simply list 3 good things that happened yesterday. But if you find yourself feeling emotionally drained or quick to sadness, doing a deep dive into your whole past and mapping out everything you are thankful for is a fantastic way to truly fertilize that mental soil.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, Tracking Your Mind's Progress, Measuring Success. So how do we objectively measure if this custom formula is actually upgrading our brain? We look to the 21-day rule. Day 1 is all about disrupting those old patterns. By day 10, you should be seeing consistent practice of your custom tools. And by day 21, the neural pathways actually actively register the new habits and beliefs. The real key here is patience, guys. Don't judge the results after just 2 or 4 days. You have to give your brain the actual biological time it needs to rewire itself.
So the crucial point is, why 21 days? It's not just some random number pulled out of thin air. It originated with Dr. Maxwell Maltz. He was a plastic surgeon and the author of the famous book Psycho-Cybernetics. He observed that it took exactly 21 days for his patients to mentally adjust to a new face or a new body part. That is the actual scientific baseline required to rewrite a deeply held self-image.
As that 21-day mark approaches, you're going to want to look for 3 concrete signs to prove your mental operating system has successfully upgraded. Number 1. Increased self-awareness. You might still have negative thoughts, but now you actually catch them in real time. Number 2, you start taking small, calculated risks outside your comfort zone. Maybe you finally raise your hand for an opportunity you used to hide from. And number 3, a noticeable daily increase in your joy and positivity.
Remember, positive results only come from a positive mind. By doing this inner work, we aren't just upgrading our own lives. We're empowering ourselves to change the world around us, step by step, day by day. So I want to leave you with this final, powerful question to really chew on right now. What limiting belief will you rewrite today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.